Hey everybody, welcome back to the Tristan Bourbon. I'm DMC from Louisville, Kentucky. Today I have Margaret with me again, and today we're going to be reviewing some Highland and Speyside single malt scotches.
Cheers!
So, have
We
you
got
had
a
any?
nice selection here.
Yeah, this is our selection. Have you had any scotches?
No,
that you know
I've
of?
never had any scotch, I don't think.
Okay. So if you watched our Irish video that we did back and released before St. Patrick's Day, Margaret hadn't really had any of the Irish whiskeys we tasted then either. She had had some Irish whiskey before, like Jameson or whatnot. But
Tullamore, is that a...
Yeah.
Yeah, I have that.
We've had that around before, so
Yeah.
we didn't have that. We didn't taste that one, but yeah. But yeah, here's our lineup today. Let me give a little bit of history on these, a little bit of background, and then we'll
Get to the
unbox
tasting.
them and pour them and taste them. So, all right, starting over here, we got the Balvenie, which is a 12-year DoubleWood, and the DoubleWood means that it's aged in ex-bourbon barrels, and then it's finished in Sherry Casks. So it comes in at 43% ABV or 86 proof, and this is produced by William Grant & Son. This is definitely a Speyside Scotch. The Macallan here is next, Macallan 12. This is their pure sherry matured Scotch, and it's 12 years up. It's also 43% ABV, 86 proof, and it is completely aged in ex Olorosa Sherry Casks out of Spain. So, this is Macallan is owned by the Edgerton Group, who also own Highland Park Scotch Distillery. So I think the Macallan and Highland Park definitely share some resources. They may have had the same master distiller in the past. The next up is the Glenfiddich. This is also William Grant & Son Company. This is their 14-year Bourbon Barrel Reserve. So this is all bourbon barrels, nothing else like sherry or anything. So it's aged 14 years, and it is also 86 proof, 40% ABV. But they do age it for nearly 14 years, or maybe even 14 years in ex-bourbon barrels, and then they finish it in new, heavily charred American oak barrels, so which are basically just like it's like a double oaked bourbon. But
so
it's
lots of vanilla notes in that one.
that's what they call out this is vanilla, and it should have some vanilla notes.
Okay.
These are going to have your sherry notes, which are going to be some fruitiness and sweetness, and maybe even some more dried fruits and stuff a lot of times. So this is also a Speyside. The Macallan, this is a Speyside also, even though on the box they call themselves a Highland Scotch whiskey. Speyside is a part of the Highlands, so they can do that. But these three are all Speyside area. Next up is Glenmorangie, and this is not Speyside. This is the true Highland Scotch. It's from farther north. This is 14-year. This is their Quinta Ruban, which is ruby port finished. So they age it for 12 years in ex-bourbon barrels, and then an additional 2 years in ruby port. They have another offering. It's a 12-year La Santa, which is a sherry finished, but this is their port cask finished. It's the Quinta Ruban, is what it's called.
Now, what's the difference between it being finished in a port cask and this one just being like matured? How does that work?
Well, like I said, these are aged for years and years, like 12 years or more or longer, in ex-bourbon barrels.
Right.
Then they're transferred from those bourbon barrels into, in this case, ruby port barrels. In that case, sherry barrels. This is just aged for the full 12 years in sherry barrels.
I see.
This one is finished in new charred oak barrels, so this is, like I say, it's really like a double oak. So this guy's a Highland. These are your Speyside. This guy is a little bit higher proof too. This comes in at a 46% ABV or 92 proof. So the other ones are all 86 proof. This is 92 proof. Glenmorangie is owned by Moet Hennessy, which the full company name is Louis Vuitton Moet Hennessy, but they also own Ardbeg. So Ardbeg Scotch and Glenmorangie share, I believe they share a bottling facility and all that. So you've got Glenmorangie and Ardbeg are tied together. Macallan and Highland Park are tied together. These two are both William Grant and Son, which is the largest family-owned Scotch distillery, Scotch producing company. They own multiple distilleries. In fact, these two, the Balvenie and Glenfiddich, not this Glenfiddich 14, but the standard Glenfiddich, those two are two of the Scotches that are blended into Monkey Shoulder Scotch blend, which is really a blend of 3 single malts. So one of their other distilleries go in there with the Balvenie and Glenfiddich and make Monkey Shoulder. So.
And I just learned that Glen means valley, right?
In Gaelic, Scotch Gaelic, yes.
And this one is Valley of the Deer.
Valley of the Deer.
And that's their logo, is the deer. And then this one is Valley of Tranquility. Is that right?
Yep, Glenmorangie, Valley of Tranquility.
How beautiful.
Yeah.
I bet I'm going to feel so tranquil after I taste it.
All right, so you ready to pour these and taste these?
Oh, yes.
All right, so we're going to stop filming here for a minute. We're going to get these unboxed and poured, and then we'll come back and do a tasting and a nosing and a tasting.
Yeah, can't wait. I'm ready to taste these.
All right, we're back. We've got these poured. We've got them unboxed. We've got them poured. These are mixed up, so this is going to be a blind tasting. So we don't know what order these are on the table, but they are in the same order between us. So go through, I'll call these on the screen A, B, C, D. So A is on my right.
I went through and smelled them all while you were pouring, and I tried to pick out, I don't know, one of them. I thought maybe I could pick out the one that had been the one that had been in the bourbon barrels and then the extra charred oak barrel. Or the one with chocolate notes. I couldn't tell that one either. Although I will say, we're not there yet, but this last one definitely smells different than this.
Just went through the
you did them all? Okay, yeah.
The last one smells different than the first.
It smells smokier.
And all of these being, Highland Speyside, they are not...
Not all of them. Oh, Highland Speyside.
Yeah. They're not all. They're not supposed to have any peat in them. They're all supposed to be non-peated Scotch. Although some of the U.S. releases of Glenfiddich, supposedly you do get a little bit of smoke in Glenfiddich. So, this is the only one that's not sherry or port finish. So it's just all bourbon. Definitely fruity.
What are you smelling? Yeah, a little fruit. Maybe some honey.
Yeah, I might have called it a slight hint of orange.
Okay. Yeah, I can get that.
But I think it's what I would call a sherry.
Okay.
To it. So I know you really haven't had any of the sherry finish ones. But
no, I haven't. I'm
now,
not even sure if I've had sherry.
I must say, you can see I've been sampling some of these bottles, and the Glenmorangie I know is port finished. I really haven't sampled them head to head at all, so I don't know if I could tell the difference between sherry and port at the moment.
Right.
So it could just be they're both obviously wines.
Okay, I'm ready to taste mine.
You're going to taste already?
Oh, are we not?
No, that's fine.
Yeah,
That's fine.
okay. Wow.
It was blast of sweet when it first hit my tongue, but that disappeared real quick. Definitely some spiciness there on the mid palate. Any flavors coming through? I mean, is that honey coming through on the taste that you had on the aroma?
No, it's pretty spicy. I mean, it's not the spiciest drink I've ever had, but no, I smell more of the honey than I taste.
Alright.
But I definitely do taste a little fruity note, maybe right at the end.
I think I get, like I said, the first blast I got was sweetness. I'm not really getting that. I guess I really hadn't had anything for a bit here, so just hit me with initial sweet. But I'm getting just right when I take another sip, I'm getting vanilla real fast on the tongue, but that doesn't last either. It changes pretty quickly.
I can see that.
So, all right, good flavor.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I'm excited to taste the rest of them. I need something to compare it to, you know. This one definitely smells different. This smells richer, if that's
yeah, this
possible.
one does smell different now, and I went through and nosed them quickly a little bit ago. I thought they were very similar.
Yes, me too.
This smells more like a wine to me, so I mean, I don't know if that might be the port.
It smells like I will like this better.
All right.
Wow. So smooth, wouldn't you say? Not a lot of spiciness.
Yeah, I got a little bit of peppery spice on the back end.
Okay, maybe some pepper on the back end. But I would say it's not as spicy as this first one.
But I'm getting a little bit of a
little smoky
wine taste on that one. Also, I got the what I call wine on the aroma, what I'm calling wine on the taste. So it's more of a grape tannic, wine, which could be sherry. Yeah, could be port. I don't know. But,
it does have kind of that full fruit taste to it. I don't know. I mean, you do this more, so you're much better at the notes, the tasting notes.
Right. Well, I've definitely had several sherry finished. Even the Irish whiskeys we did, several of those were sherry finished. I mean, the Redbreast was, I think the Green Spot was, so they were sherry finished. So I think A had more of what I'm familiar with, so I'm thinking that's a sherry finish, and
it definitely seems.
And B's a little different. And when I went back and just nosed A, after tasting B, I had a new scent, a new aroma that came through that I almost called out, and then I lost it. So it was there for a fleeting moment.
Maybe some honeysuckle?
I don't know.
This first one smells a lot brighter to me now than just in comparison with this one.
All right. Let's try C.
I'm not supposed to smell it. Oh.
I'm getting a lot less aroma. I'm draw deep on this one. The first two had a more powerful nose on them. This one's lighter.
I tasted it already. I'm not sure if I like it.
Definitely got some sweet on there also. Didn't have any spice, or I haven't come yet. The first two, I had some spice on the back end. Looking for the flavor notes.
I am.
They were all over the canisters and the boxes. They're probably on these also.
Yeah.
This one stays sweeter every time. I've tasted it a couple times now. I repeatedly get the sweetness on this one, which I lost on the first two.
Yeah, it is pretty sweet.
But it has no finish. I mean, it disappears. I mean, that would be super smooth, honestly. I mean,
yeah, I don't know. Maybe I just like that peppery note because I think this one's a little boring.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Maybe it's just more subtle. So I don't know.
But man, it no burn at all. No,
incredibly
spice.
smooth.
I mean, that is, if you're gonna call something smooth, that's
yeah,
smooth.
definitely.
And the taste is good.
It's good.
It does disappear quickly though.
It does.
So, if you want to call that boring, that's fair enough. But
well, maybe not boring. I'll take it back. Maybe just a little subtle. Definitely more subtle than these first two that we have. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. For me.
Right. Yeah, A has the strongest nose. And now that I'm smelling D, I don't think it's that much different than the other ones.
Oh, I still do.
When I went
so
through.
Smoky.
Okay, I can.
Get the smoke a little.
I can buy in on that. I do have a tad bit of smoke on this. So, yeah, none of these are supposed to have any smoke on them. So.
Well, I think maybe it's that extra char. Oh, which one was that? This one.
Glenfiddich.
I don't know. It smells really good.
No, I agree. It's a nice aroma.
Yeah, it's smoky but still sweet. Maybe like some cherries in there.
That's nice. I was going to go with about the time you were saying cherries. The only thing coming to my mind was a medicinal smell. On the smell, I'm not getting out of the taste here, but
yeah,
I had the smoke. There is some more depth of aroma there.
Definitely.
But it was a slight medicinal for me.
No, I can see that.
I've watched a few videos where I've heard people, that don't really like scotches, talk about it smells like Band-Aids and all that.
Band-Aids?
I could...
no, I don't want that association with this.
I could see where they get that, maybe, but...
Oh no, this was my favorite.
I'm not... Just a nice, clean Band-Aid, just open the pack and smell it,
I'll go home and try that. That's an interesting way to describe
that is
anything.
Sweet, also. And I think I had some vanilla on that.
A little spicy on the finish, but not too much.
No, a little bit longer finish than C, but
Definitely.
it still went away
pretty
quick.
Smooth, yeah.
So.
This is my favorite. I'm so interested to see what it is.
I think I'm getting some kind of a baked smell on A.
Baked Band-Aids?
I wouldn't call it a red. I mean, I know a lot of people associate like cookies, like shortbread cookies and stuff with scotches and stuff. Is that a cookie smell? I don't know. It's maybe just baking spices in general.
Was A the one that you said when you tasted it, you got a lot of sweetness?
A was the one that just the very first time I tasted it was sweet, but then I didn't get that anymore. But then I was getting some vanilla.
Mm-hmm.
So, sweetness is still there.
Yeah, I think maybe that is like the baking, cooking, cookie.
Yeah, I'm liking A. I think it has the most interesting aroma.
Do you? Interesting.
B has a little bit of tanginess to it. It comes back to it's that wine.
Yeah.
Taste that I think I'm getting. C is definitely muted on those.
I'm done with C.
Definitely have smokiness on D.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it is right there.
Yeah, C.
I don't know. When you go back and you taste them.
C, I could see being able to sip or just drink C. I mean, so easily. Yeah, I talked about it being so smooth, whatever that. I mean, I could see being able to just drink that almost like water. I mean,
it is very smooth.
Yeah.
And it's got an interesting mouthfeel. Almost like, yeah, I don't know. Like it's not there. It's very light. But I don't know. It's not my favorite. Oh, please.
Yeah, I agree. I think C is going to fall short. I think B and C are out of it for me.
Me too. But going back and tasting them all, I feel like then they just start to all taste different because you're, you know.
Right. All right. So I think A is going to be my pick.
Okay,
and
D's my pick.
D's your pick.
Mm-hmm.
And then we both ranked probably C last and B's down there.
Yeah.
All right, before we do the reveal, I don't think we talked about pricing yet. So,
right. I was going to ask you.
These aren't too terribly different in price. They are a little pricey compared to some bourbons, but not really considering they're all 12 or 14 years old. I mean, they're not pricey compared to 12-year-old bourbons.
Right.
But most bourbons are only 4 to 6 years old, you know. So, but anyways, the Glenmorangie and the Glenfiddich 14 here, the Glenmorangie Quinta Ruban, I should say, and the Glenfiddich 14. You know, I got both of those for between $45 and $50. I think I shopped around and I could find them both for $50 pretty easily, and I think I got them down closer to $45. The Balvenie might have been just a hair more. I think I had to pay $50 for it, and I had to shop around to find that. I mean, I was seeing $50 to $55 on it, so it's just like $5 more than these two. But I got them all three of those for I'd say around that $50 price. The Macallan is definitely the high dollar one here. This guy I picked up for $70, so it's about $20 more than the other three bottles, and $70 was, you know, I had to shop around to find that price also.
I bet that one's C.
Now the Macallan is known as being holding some world records for being the most expensive bottles of whiskey ever sold. Some of them have gone at auctions for, you know, tens of thousands of dollars.
What?
You know, so
wow,
it definitely holds a place in esteem there. Worldwide, Glenfiddich is the #1 selling single malt Scotch in the world, followed closely by Glenlivet and Macallan. So, I think it's undeniable that Glenfiddich is #1, and then Glenlivet, which we don't have in this tasting, and Macallan are 2 and 3. the number one selling single malt in Scotland since the 1980s is Glenmorangie. So, Glenmorangie is the number one selling single malt in Scotland. But worldwide, it's Glenfiddich. Now, in the U.S., the number one selling Scotch is Glenlivet, which I said is number 2.
I may have had that one before.
But, so Glenlivet is number one in the U.S., but number 2 in the world. But Glenfiddich is number 1 in the world. So.
Well, I'm interested to see where my tastes fall.
All right. Well, let's start with C.
Okay, well, our least favorite.
This is the Glenfiddich.
Oh no!
So this is
the world favorite.
The one. Well, but this is the Bourbon Barrel Reserve. So this is not your normal Glenfiddich. I mean, your normal Glenfiddich 12 is sherry finished, whatnot. So this is a special, just bourbon barrel only. And I, being a bourbon channel, I picked this guy out for that reason. And I tell you,
it is really smooth.
I like I said, I could just drink this stuff straight.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, there is so little burn. It does have good flavor. It just disappears so quickly. There's no finish. I mean, it's got a great flavor, but it's gone in an instant.
Yeah.
So. But that comes in 4th place here. So B is what we're going with our 3rd place. And this is the Glenmorangie.
Wow.
So the port, and I did call that as the wine. I kept saying wine taste, wine nose, wine. This is the ruby port cask. So.
And this is the one that they said had hints of chocolate in it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it says it on the bottle here. It had chocolate boldness and it talked about tangerines and this and that on the box.
I can definitely taste.
I could get the wine, and I'm not a wine fan. I mean, I'm definitely a whiskey lover. Been drinking a lot of bourbons, been trying out all these scotches and stuff. I don't know. Maybe I should have got the Glenmorangie Lausanne, which is the sherry finished one instead. But maybe it would have been more in line with these other ones. But this La Quinta Ruban just seemed, from all my reviews, seemed to have a little bit higher review, rankings by everybody. So that's why I went with this guy. So. All right. So my first was A, your first was D.
Yeah.
Which one do you want to do first? A?
We can do A.
A is the Macallan. So, and I did absolutely said, sherry on that. It was what I thought was a classic sherry.
Yeah.
And I think it has the most interesting nose on it. I really do.
It's pretty fruity.
And it evolved. It changed. The flavor does the same. It's not one-dimensional by any means. I liked it.
Yeah.
And so D, your favorite, is the Balvenie. And this one,
so smoky.
It does have smoke on it. So I'm going to do some research on that. But
I think this is also smooth, with maybe just a hint of spice, but it's so smooth.
Yeah.
It's great.
All right, so there we go. Margaret picked the Balvenie as her top choice, and I picked the Macallan as my top choice. So
we're really out of the.
Yeah, so we're gonna do some more tastings of some scotches. I've got another round of Highland Speysides to do, which will include the Glenlivet, among others, and we're going to do a Island round also. So.
Yes. Okay.
All unpeated though, so I know.
All unpeated. When are we going to get to some peated ones?
Maybe eventually, but okay. I know Isla's known for heavily peated scotches, but I've got the classic Laddie from Brooklotti, and I've got the Bunnahabhain 12, which is both of those are unpeated Islas. So. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
I want to taste some peated ones. eventually.
Eventually, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even have any peated ones. So.
Oh, okay.
All right. Well, I had fun with this.
Yeah, me too. I found out I enjoy Scotch. Who
There you
knew?
go. Yeah. So, hope everybody enjoyed this. If you did, leave some comments down below. Let us know which of these you've had, which ones you like or don't like. If you agree with this, don't agree with this, let us know. Love to hear from you. Hit that like button if you like what you saw. Hit subscribe if you want to see more. And remember, everybody, all bourbon is whiskey, but all whiskey is not bourbon. And all whiskey is not Scotch either. But clearly,
the best
Scotch
Scotch comes from Scotland.
Cheers.
Cheers.